And you can see here that the net profit, $56,730 or 232.31% in only 51 closed trades for the entire year. What's going on? It's Ryan here, CEO and head quant at happytrader.io. Wanted to go over our year-to-date performance for the NQ, the Nasdaq futures. So we're going to hop right into it. We're not going to waste any time at all. This will be a relatively short video just to get us up to speed on how we're doing. So the first thing we want to do is get over to the NQ, and we want to pull the margin, not the intraday, but the overnight margin. That's what we're going to be looking at. The next thing we want to do is plug that directly in here for the initial capital in our backtester for Happy Trader. As far as pyramiding, we're just going to set that to 0. Order size, we're going to do one single contract, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Commissions, you'll see probably negligible as far as the first backtest that we're doing. We have our deep backtesting enabled. The next thing we want to do is make sure that we set our date appropriately. So we want to go all the way out to today, which is 10/16/2024. And we want to make sure that we generate our report on the 45-minute chart. And you can see here that the net profit, $56,730 or 232.31% in only 51 closed trades for the entire year, 41.18% profitable. And if you're wondering how that's possible, it's because our winners, and this is how we designed our system, our winners are really big compared to our losers. And you can see not only do we have more losers, they're just a lot smaller. And then you have your winners that are huge by comparison. And then you go to your overview, and your average trade expectancy across all of these 51 trades is $1,112. So, or 0.31% if you're going by the margin. Now you can see we did take a little bit or a lot of it of a drawdown, 52.93%. And this is something where you might want to subscribe to the channel. We have some videos on how to hedge your position and make sure that you're catching the up and ups, right? We want to make sure that we are up, but when we go down below a certain level, maybe we dip here and then maybe we dip here again. Maybe we want to set a hedge. We talk about that in some of our other videos. But for today's video, we're just talking about performance. So 232%. To put that into context, the S&P 500, like I say in a lot of other videos, does between 7 and 11% per year. So to do 232% over 51 trades is great. And this is without scaling in, scaling out, and with a very minimal drawdown. I mean, we drew down just about to where we started, maybe a little bit lower. But again, if you would have put a hedge on somewhere in this area where you get that kind of double bottom and then that breakout to the downside, that's where you can hedge the position. Then once you get a couple percentage points above that area, you can start to peel the hedge off. But dynamic hedging is very tricky. Again, you may want to reference some of our other videos. Now, we don't just want to stop there. We want to go down to further time frames. Not everybody's a swing trader. Some people like to trade more frequent time frames. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And we have 154%. It's going to get a little swingier the lower we get in our time frame. So you can see here we did have a drawdown. Again, this is a situation where you could hedge, but ultimately, even without hedging, just hanging on, padding the account a little bit, you had $37,000 of profit or 154%. Let's go down to the 15-minute chart, and we're going to generate that report. You can see the number of trades go up. And this one's pretty. It's very choppy. So you didn't have that huge drawdown like we did on the 45-minute chart, but you did have more closed trades. So you would just want to take your $36,000 profit. And by the way, yes, Happy Trader is the best performing indicator with buy and sell signals on the market. That's why we do these videos. And this is why I like to show results, real results directly on TradingView, directly through their backtester, and show you the actual list of trades. And you can see again on the 15-minute chart, 46% drawdown. You can see from here to here. Again, hedge, hedge, hedge. And this is not financial advice, for educational purposes only. But let's go ahead and get down to the 10-minute chart. Now we're really starting to drill down. Let's see how we did. 228% or 55,000, but 254 trades. So if you're more of an intraday trader, more of a scalper type trader, this might be something where you get a lot more of these signals, and all you have to do with our signals is add the alerts and you get them directly on your phone. So it's really easy to do. And we just make sure when we're running a backtest, we use the largest margin possible, completely updated through a major broker like TradingView, but your brokerage may vary. Now let's get back to our strategy tester. And you can see here 254 closed trades, 35% drawdown, but you can see the expectancy graph. And one thing I want to touch on is win rate does not matter. 31% win rate. You get a lot of noob traders saying, hey, what's the win rate of this strategy? What's the win rate of this indicator? The win rate isn't what matters. It's the expectancy of how that strategy performs over a long period of time. Not one trade, not 1 hour, not 1 month, but we're talking a full year, if not longer, right? Subscribe to the channel if you want to see longer frame back testing, right? So years, quarters, decades, stuff like that. So you can see the 10-minute chart, 228%. And finally, let's go down to about the lowest that I would recommend, and that'd be the 5-minute chart. And you can see here, there's just a lot of trades, 533. But again, if you're a scalper type trader, you can see that you get a lot more opportunities for these big downtrends. You can see the Illuma trend in red here with the downtrend signal, and these are our trading signals. So by using these uptrend and downtrend signals, that's where we derive our direct back testing, and you can see it's superimposed. So when we turn off our back tester, all of that goes away. When we turn it on, it lines up right under those arrows for the close AI and the open AI purchases. So we're looking at around 250%. Regardless of the time frame. But for me personally, I like to be hanging out and swing trading, and I'll take my 232%. I'll even take that drawdown to not have to worry about as many trades, as much commission. A lot more can go wrong the more that you trade. And we do have a favorable profit percentage, and we have a very favorable $1,100 average per trade across all 51 trades. So that's going to do it for today's video. It's been a long time. I hope everybody's having a great year. I hope everybody has a great Halloween, and we are doing great. We continue to be the best indicator on TradingView. Visit us online at happytrader.io for more.